All right, everyone. We got the 5 seed. Let's go. Can't be too loud. Family's sleeping upstairs. But what a great win. Obviously, it was a little rocky at first. Offense looked a little bit stagnant. Defense let up some big plays, but it's nice having something to play for against the Raiders, so we didn't just have to send out backups and we can really get that win. But what a great win. And predominantly because I felt like we won in a different way than we've been winning throughout the season. Obviously, still off of the arm of Justin Herbert, but in the passing game, seeing QJ go 13 receptions on 14 targets, keep in mind, for 186 yards, no touchdowns, but inarguably the best catch of his career up until this point. So that was the nicest thing to see is QJ down the sideline, contested catch with the defender draping all over him, and makes a one-handed grab, arm fully extended, not just dropping it into the bucket and corralling it with one arm, fully extended, survived the ground. Hell of a catch. Hell of a catch, QJ. So props to you. You'll love to see it. Really gives me a tremendous amount of comfort going into the playoffs, knowing that if they do target to eliminate Ladd, there is something that can be done. Now, obviously, this is kind of an outlier game. I don't want to knock QJ at all. We haven't seen him replicate it over and over again, but the combination of Stone Smart getting involved into the offense, Will Dissly being back and healthy, as well as Darius Davis getting incorporated into the offense, and now QJ having a game like this gives me a tremendous amount more comfort of the idea of if teams, specifically if we end up matched up against the Ravens or something like that, having a high-end corner that can cover from both the outside and the slot, really trying to take away Ladd, that we still have the option of other people in the offense who can really turn around and make plays and make something happen. Just absolutely a feel-good way to end the season. Now, it's still the Raiders. Granted, they've been playing better the last couple of weeks, but it is still the Raiders, so I'm not going to put too much stock into it, but it feels great to see. And Justin Herbert, let's touch on you real quick. What a stud. First of all, the 2-point conversion to Ladd was ridiculous, running across his body. Absolutely ridiculous. But overall, he was just dissecting the defense all day long. 125 passer rating, 125.2 passer rating, 78% completion percentage, 389 total yards with, I think, 42 of them coming off of that long Herbert run. I really thought he was going to make it into the end zone. That was going to be sweet, but huge play. Showed up when it mattered most, especially in that second half, not letting our foot off the gas. Greg Roman's completely different offense and route tree seems to really be developing well. I don't know what changed after the Buccaneers game, but we look like a totally different offense. So, love to see it. Also, offensively, the running game looked really solid today. Not tremendous, but given how much shuffling we did on the offensive line, which I'll get to in a second, I was happy with the way that the running game looked. I've been happy with Hassan Haskins playing in the Gus Edwards role. Like I said in yesterday's episode, I really want to still have that thumper in the offense. I was kind of worried losing Gus a little bit. Not like it's extremely critical, but it's a wrinkle in the offense that we need. And Hassan Haskins taking on a little bit more carries in the second half, fresh legs, ground and pound, wear them down, especially when we have the lead, win time of possession. It's important. And so really, really nice to see. Not what I expected from Hassan Haskins as a signing or even over the past few weeks. So seeing him kind of get more involved and being a worthwhile player and really being a good use of the roster spot, I want to say, is really nice to see. Offense, let's talk about the offensive line. So we need Slater to get healthy. Now, everybody held up today. The Raiders don't have a tremendous pass rush. Well, that was weird. Raiders don't have a tremendous pass rush, so it's not like we can totally judge it, but shuffling Joe Alt to the left side this late in the season, especially as we go into the playoffs, I would really prefer not to do. There's just a lot of timing and motions that become muscle memory, and without having an off season or something like that to train and kind of break that into yourself, it worries me a little bit. Also, specifically, the fact that we just ran the ball to the right side so much was kind of odd. And then Pipkins obviously getting hurt didn't help that either. But, I mean, your better two run blockers are we're on the left side. Why we continue to run to the right, I'm still not exactly sure. But either way, it sounds like Slater should be healthy. Sounds like it was more of a precautionary thing, which thank you for doing. We knew we could beat the Raiders without him. And so we just need to make sure that he's healthy for the playoffs. So that's the biggest thing, is hopefully he is healthy for the playoffs, because the Texans do have a mean pass rush, and so we're going to need all the help that we can get to make sure that keeps rolling. On the defensive side of things, Christian Fulton, if you follow me on Twitter at all, you've seen I've kind of beaten this a little bit more than I should. I really liked the signing of Fulton. There's certain things he does really well. There's a lot of times throughout the year that it just seems like he gets lost in coverage, and it always leads to these huge plays. Same thing happened today, so I don't see him as a long-term piece. Hopefully he can dial that in, but we really need to get our secondary as healthy as possible going into the playoffs. Alohi, same thing. We missed Elijah Molden out there. We've seen Alohi play at an elite level, though. Not necessarily in this defense, but in years past, he did play at a really high level. So he can get back to it. We need everybody to get back to it. But playing against some of these wide receivers, our best receiver or best corner seems to be Cam Hart at this point. So we really need to make sure that he's healthy for the postseason, stays healthy. So we'll see how it shakes out. But yeah, otherwise defensively, struggled against the run early, which is a little bit concerning. We can't allow that to happen against Joe Mixon. If they can get the run game going, I do worry that their play action with Nico Collins and CJ Stroud, Deontay Johnson's probably going to get involved. And so I could see that offense start clicking. So we really need to limit the pass or the rush to keep the pass game one-dimensional and really be able to nail them down. And so that's going to be huge for me. Otherwise, I think if we can do that, we can take care of business. So pass rush definitely needs to get home. Raiders' offensive line isn't necessarily a weakness of theirs. So hopefully the weakness that the Texans have on their offensive line, we can exploit a little bit more. But I'd like to see our 3 pass rushers that we have. Now, Khalil Mack, he's a little bit older, getting into the end of the season. I can see him getting worn down a little bit. But we need Bosa to stop committing penalties, first of all. Line up on sides, please. And we need to get Thule more involved if that's what it's going to take to get to the quarterback, because he did have such a hot stretch. So I don't know what we need to do change-wise, or if we just need to kind of have a get-right game, but could definitely use a little bit more pressure on the quarterback. It would make me feel a lot better. I do want to talk about Darius Davis. I did mention in the previous video that I really think we need to get him involved to really have more success in the postseason. We need someone to stretch the field, especially if Palmer is going to continue to be out. But touchdown called back today. So obviously, if you look at the box score, it didn't really do much. But still nice to see him out there. Still nice to see him getting involved. And overall, we're clicking on offense at the right time. Defense, I'm not going to say that we're absolutely clicking right now. We've definitely had better moments in the early part of the season, but I don't think we're playing poorly. So I think we can kind of take some of this momentum and get rolling. So momentum's huge in the NFL. So the Texans having such poor momentum right now, having such positive momentum, I think it really plays into what we're going to be able to do down in Houston on Saturday. Only complaint I have is I would love this to be a Sunday game. Saturday, it's 5 days of rest in between before game day. I would have preferred to have longer than that, just because we do have a little bit of nagging injuries and things like that. But this is a Harbaugh-led team, and I think we're going to come out there and we're going to show out regardless of what day of the week it is. So I'm excited, pumped that I have Saturday off. In previous years, I would have been working on a Saturday, so pumped that I have Saturday off. Sounds like a ton of Chargers fans are going to be down in Houston for the game, so I'm excited to see how that looks, because I'd love to turn that crowd a little bit, and especially just continue to kill the narrative. If we can kill the narrative of Chargers don't have fans, Chargers don't travel, and also Justin Herbert can't win a playoff game, if we can kill those 2 birds with 1 stone here on Saturday, I will be thrilled. So let's get this thing cooking, boys and girls. Bolt up, we got the 5 seed. If you liked this video, please give me a follow on Twitter or X at Erdman Chargers, shown on the graphic here, or subscribe to my YouTube channel at Nature's Calls Pod.